Grab your cup and sit with us for a minute. It's time for Coffee on the Coast. Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host this afternoon, Tina Prigge. I am excited because we have back to the show Timothy Andrew Gabriel Gadzinski and Emily Brandt as a first-timer from the Manitowoc Public Library, and we are talking Beyond the Books. I'm so excited to know what this means.
Excellent.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Emily. So let's start off. You've got an upcoming ongoing program that's going to be kind of an insider's sneak peek experience beyond the books at the library. What does that mean? What can we expect? What is Beyond the Books?
Emily, why don't you start off for a change? Because I'm on here talking all the time.
And digging tickets.
It's really just, it was just our idea to showcase that the library, we have a lot of staff here that, especially staff that people don't get to see because they're kind of like hidden behind the scenes. So we're kind of just doing like a little interview with all of our coworkers. People get to know the people behind the scenes.
Very cool. Tim, what does Beyond the Books mean to you?
Well, it's just I guess it all started during the pandemic when we shut down. Something got stuck in my craw, and it was that it was a minority opinion, but an opinion nonetheless that we were just in here with the doors locked, drinking coffee and reading books. And, it couldn't be further from the truth. But as Emily said, everyone would have applied for that job had it been posted of drinking coffee and reading books, and that was your job. But instead, and so there's always been so much going on behind the scenes that people don't know about, and programs that and services that people might not know about. So we're bringing that to the fore, and we're going to try and do it in a fun, semi-irreverent way. Honestly. It was an idea that took 2 years to form, but when it comes right down to it, I would say it's based around conversations that happen in our office with coworkers. Because as the tagline for the show states, always on time, never on topic. And we'll start somewhere and wind somewhere else altogether different. And, we just, we have fun conversations in our office, and that we want to bring that to the public to, let people know we're not cogs in a machine. It's actual people that work at the library with quirks and weirdnesses and fun stuff and hidden talents. And, what better way to do that with.
And is that like a pig on your shoulder, Tim?
In fact, that is a pig. That is my swine say that guides me through. There he is. That was a gift from my daughter years ago, and that is usually in the background of every online thing I do.
Where is he right now, Tim?
Yeah.
He's right here. I can grab him. It's not hard.
Oh,
there he is. Very photogenic. See? So he was just off camera, but he's there. He's there. Don't you worry, Emily.
You guys are going to do Beyond the Books every third Thursday of the month at 12:30. So it's going to be live, like a live stream?
Mm-hmm.
So anything could happen.
Well, exactly. And we actually have bumpers ready to go in place for when things go terribly off the rails. So also, normally, and I sent this to you, we were going to be doing this Thursday, tomorrow. However, due to an unexpected little health bump in the road, we're not able to do it tomorrow because, Emily, why don't you, since it's your bump, why don't you bump it up?
No, a little one at home who's on his second bout of COVID in under 3 months. So, so tomorrow it's our scheduled broadcast tomorrow just has to get delayed a little bit.
We are no strangers to understanding the COVID delay and the COVID bump, and nobody is going to hold that against you. I think everybody will be looking forward to the third Thursdays of each month, getting a behind the scenes look at what happens beyond the books. I love this concept of shining a spotlight on the great people that work for the Manitowoc Public Library and the great things that you're doing, and how fun to see it in kind of an irreverent and fun way. And Tim, before we started, and not that this is even what you're going to show, because this is not people, but I love that I love that you shared with me some of the automated material handling. Like, this is kind of a cool behind the scenes look that you don't, what happens to the books when you drop them off, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you contact me and ask me for some pictures, and it's right where I come in. So I'm like, well, this isn't exactly how what we're going to be, doing on the show, but I have a phone which has a camera, and I'm right here, so I might as well send them to you. And so I sent you a couple pics, and I'm not at liberty to say what it is, Tina.
Uh-huh.
However, your suggestion has inspired Emily and I to do something. So look for it. Maybe not in the manner you believed it would have, was going to have, but look for it in a couple months.
Cool.
Because we're going to be featuring.
Oh, cool.
this.
Okay, so what I want to know though is this, which is an awesome picture, by the way. Was this staged, Tim? Like, did you have to look for this book, or was this book just happening to go down the track at this time? Because it says, "Listen, world." It's like we're saying, "Hey, listen, this cool new program is coming beyond the books."
100% organic. Honestly, I wouldn't have known where to find that book had I been looking for it. But no, one of the people that works behind the scene, Nate, he had just gathered up a bunch of books from the bins that I sent you in another picture, and he had just set them on the automated sorter in order to get them so that they can be reshelved.
Ooh,
And so that just happened as I was walking in the door.
Tell us
And
the
then we
library
start-
secrets. So these are the bins, right? Like,
I
these
know,
are the
pretty
drop-off
exciting
points.
stuff, right?
So the books like fall into these bins, and then somebody like Nate, takes them and puts them on the material handler.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yep. That's with the outdoor book drop. If you do it in the drop that's in the lobby, that is it just goes automatically right onto that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Wow, look at how long it is.
Yeah, we like to call it the book roll.
Oh, say that again, Emily.
We like to call that the book roller coaster.
Is there a reason that it goes up and down? Is something happening as it goes? Like, are those reading the book code or the ISBN number or something? Oh, I'm pointing at my screen and nobody can see that. I'm sorry.
There's a reason why it's bumpy. I just don't know what that reason is, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I think when it comes actually off of the sorter, and the picture that you had of it heading down, where you said, did I stage it? That's where I think it actually gets read. But see, this is why we're having people on the show, because it's remarkable.
Yeah.
We work here and don't know all the ins and outs of things.
Yeah.
Because once the book gets to the end of this, is it already like sorted? Does it already know that it's got to go back to fiction?
It actually bursts into flame, and it's gone forever. That's why our budget is so ridiculously high. No, it actually. I'm sorry. That's disinformation. Sorry. It gets kind of like dumped.
Yeah, like the little
bin.
tracks that they're on, they kind of the bin that it's supposed to drop in. So like all of like the adult nonfiction, and then like children's book specific bin. And now that I think about it, I think I actually know, this is just my guess, that I think it's so that it can prevent from too many books being pushed through all at once, so that it can time, because they've got these like little things that kind of catch it when it goes up and down the hill, and it catches one. I think the system can process their check-in and then where they're supposed to get sorted. Educated guess.
That sounds good.
Fascinating to know that this is what happens to your books behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just gets tilted and goes in the proper bin. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, cool. So we're talking beyond the books, right? Beyond the books, you're going to be doing this every month, third Thursday. Do you already have some things that you're planning to talk about, some people that you're planning to talk to that you want to tease us with a little?
Well, Sure. Our first guest is someone that you're familiar with. You may do a segment on this show with her once a month called Book Banter. Teresa is going to be our first guest, and with everyone that's on the show, we're going to ask we're going to do trivia with them, but it's based on each individual. But we don't want to say what it's about
Right,
because
right.
we want it to be a surprise. And then also there's a segment that we're going to ask everyone that towards the end of their interview called the most important questions in the world that they will be subjected to. And there are right and wrong answers.
Yes, there are, Tim.
And there's a valuable prize if they get the majority of their trivia questions right. They can win a valuable prize, which may or may not be something just sitting in our office.
But not the swine say, right? The swine
Oh, no,
say
no,
is
no. That's a
not on the
present for
table.
my dog. That's not on the table. I mean, it's literally on the table, but it's not figuratively on the table.
So what's the format going to be like? Is it kind of going to be like a game show?
Well, it's kind of, I don't know. Emily, would you say it's more of just like goofy conversation? Like,
I mean, Tim and I wanted it to be kind of like, so, I mean, Tim and I, we kind of have this joke about like the way everyone comes into our office to either, sassy word to, just let off some steam, or if it's just to tell us a joke, or kind of like the office of shenanigans, I guess, in a way.
Shenanigans is a good
And so we kind of wanted it to be just weird and just kind of goofy, like how all the office interactions are that we have. So it's like going to be kind of a little bit of an interview thing where we talk about some library stuff, but then, like I said, elements in there too, just to make it fun. So
yeah, and there'll be less sailor talk than there is in our office, because it's probably not the best thing to do at 12:30 on Thursdays is to let everyone just shoot their mouth off in a colorful fashion. But but we have our finger on the button should it occur to cut away. But we're also going to talk about services and programs at the library that people may not know about, because there's just so many things that are going on at the library, and new things that are being introduced all the time that it's impossible to keep up. So we're going to talk about some of the things that way as well.
I think that's especially valuable, especially following the pandemic, because I know there are so many things like, the toys that you can check out and cake pan rentals, things like that probably were, not going on during the pandemic, right? That people may have completely forgotten about. And that's such a cool resource, right? Like, who would ever think that you could check out baking pans from the library? I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's great too.
And we have so really hard to devote enough attention to everything that we have, because of the cake pans, and then you're on to a new kind of fun thing that we have here. Cake pans kind of get forgotten. So we're just trying really hard to just really focus on some of the lesser known things that the library have, well-known things, but it's just a good opportunity to just talk about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was that I was supposed to go on Craig's Breakfast Club show on WCUB, but he wasn't feeling well, so he wasn't the host that day. They had a substitute in for him, and we wound up spending the whole episode. I really don't remember what I was there to talk about, but we wound up talking about ukuleles, because the person was just completely fascinated with the fact that the library checks out ukuleles. And I mean, granted, it is a very cool thing, but he fixated on that in a huge way. But it is fun and unusual to think you can rent ukuleles or board games. If you're going to have a game night and you don't have games at home, you can check that out. That's the kind of thing we want to talk about, but just incorporate, like, everyone here is pretty much fun to talk to. And that's what we want to get across too, is that, it's not just, automatons running around behind the scenes. we have a great group of people working here. So why not, expose the community to the people that are, in service to making their library experience a positive one every time they come through the doors.
Right, right. The Manitowoc Public Library is a true resource, and the services and everything that is available there is for the community to take advantage of, and
Mm-hmm.
to self-edify, right? And whether it's baking cakes, learning to play the ukulele, just reading some great books. I think, don't you even check out video games?
Oh yeah.
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 What a great way to test a game and see, like, okay, do we like this before maybe buying it, or, not even ever having to buy it, getting the opportunity to play it and then take it back, right? It's such a great way to make content accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's someone, I mean, I won't name names, but there's someone who is very much into metal music, who may or may not have worked for the Manitowoc Police Department. That's as much as a hint I will give. But he's hugely into metal, and he will always, if we don't have it, he'll get it through interlibrary loans to check it out before he purchases it. And it's a great way, like you said, to preview something before,
Mhm.
and even if it's not previewing, I mean, just the amount of CDs, and eventually, this is another tease for someone coming up. The person who is the point person for interlibrary loans, we're going to have them on the show, and we have a lot of fun things planned for them apart from talking about interlibrary loans as well.
Which, it's great though, viewers should be aware of interlibrary loans. When my son was small, there was a series of kids' books that we were reading, and the Manitowoc Public Library had probably the top ones, right? Like the best from that series, but it was a whole A to Z series. And so by working with the librarian, they figured out from all the different libraries across the state how to get all of them. So we were able to enjoy that complete collection, which is an amazing service, right? Like, I feel like the staff at Manitowoc Public Library really go the extra mile, right? It is such an amazing place. I love you guys.
Well, thank you. And you are super supportive. And eventually, if we get picked up for a second season, um, there's a good chance you'll be on our show. It won't just be a one-way street, because we also want to have people on that the community might not know how key they are to helping us get the word out about what we do and everything. And you are definitely part of that equation. So lobby for a second season.
Do I have to hide in the bushes?
No, that's just around Christmas time. That's when the tinsel trees are here. But I like that you did play essentially a more insane version of yourself, who wanted to sign up for the summer reading program in December. That was always fun. Or it was in December. Yeah, I love doing stuff like that. And then a final tease is our December one. We're not actually going to have a guest. Emily and I we're going to be soliciting I guess questions, right? Or that people
kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Say that again, Emily.
Like an advice column.
Yeah, we're going to do an advice episode.
Tim and Emily.
It's not. It might not be good advice, but we will give advice in December.
Yeah.
By the way, Lori Shavlik commented, "We sure appreciate Laura and gathering our book requests for our book club." Another great service. Lori, thank you for that comment.
Yeah, Laura's awesome.
Laura is, and breaking news. This is another service. Well, it's a program. I'm willing to plug now, is that the Bruin Bee, the adult spelling bee that we did, is returning. This year, it's going to be Wednesday, July 19th at Pet Skull Brewery on their patio outside. And it's coming back after we had to take a break because of COVID and because they just opened the place last year. And, we couldn't get it all figured out.
I have to admit, when you mentioned metal music, Paul Hoffman was the first person that came to mind. I thought that's who you were talking about.
Oh, no, Paul has amazing stores of music. It isn't Paul. It's much more sordid than that. It's not. But it sounded very provocative, so I thought I'd say it. Hey, have you heard about this program?
Hey, that is an amazing program. And viewers, you have until March 10th, if you are a high school student in Manitowoc, to apply for the summer student exchange program between Manitowoc and Kamigawa, Japan. 6 students from Manitowoc spend 10 days in Kamigawa. 6 students from Kamigawa then come back and spend 10 days here in Manitowoc. It is amazing.
Look at that. Did you expect to do a plug in the middle of this show for that?
I didn't. That was so nicely done. You're over there.
It's like air traffic control. I've actually been plugging this during Great Decisions.
Oh, awesome. And how's Great Decisions going? That is another amazing offering by the Manitowoc Public Library.
It's going really well. We've had 2 installments so far. The first one was in the Balkanski room, but we're doing it as a hybrid, so it's going out live stream as well. And last Monday, a couple days ago, was just exclusively online. But our topics have been great. Climate migration and energy geopolitics have been the first 2. And next week, Monday, with Beth Doherty from Beloit College is going to be talking about Iran at a crossroads. So,
which every time I hear you say that, I always think about you jogging through like a crossroad. And then I'm like, no, we're talking about Iran, the country.
Me personally jogging through a crossroad?
Well, you always say Iran at a crossroads. And
maybe I should say properly and say Iran as opposed to Iran. I'm sorry, I'm having Italian food for dinner tonight, so I distracted myself. But you're right. Great Decisions is a great program, and I love being a part of it. But that's the thing. We do so many things here, and there are so many things that are offered, whether it's materials or programming or services at the library. A lot gets lost in the shuffle, So that's why Emily and I decided to take the bull by the horns and start blabbing about it on our own with a ceramic pig in the background from time to time.
Yep. Yeah, MPL Insider Beyond the Books with Tim and Emily. Always on time, never on topic. It's going to be the 3rd Thursday each month at 12:30 p.m. Live streamed on Facebook and YouTube with guest appearances, fun chatter, all sorts of insider information. And you guys are starting this in March.
Actually, we're going to be the episode that was supposed to air tomorrow. We're just moving it a couple weeks. We're going to do 2 episodes in March. The initial episode is going to be March 1st. And then
which is a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. That is a Wednesday. Good call. See, that's why you need both of our collective minds. Together, we know almost everything. Almost.
So when my son was 7, together we took an IQ test, and together we were a genius, and so we love saying that.
Did you do it separately to find out?
No, we collaborated.
Well, it's good to know that you have a collective genius.
And I don't even know how legitimate it was, right? But we love saying that together we're a genius.
Have you retaken the test recently?
No.
I think you should be brave. Be brave and retake it.
I don't know if I could bring myself to not getting that status without him, and then he'd be like, "Yep, see, Mom, it was all me."
Well, yeah, but take it with him. I think you should take it together. It might be him. I mean, I've seen him, and still waters run deep.
Yeah, it's him.
Well, boy, you admitted that real quick.
I can't even beat him at Words with Friends anymore. So.
Wow.
I know. I taught him too well.
So you're in decline. That's what you're saying.
Oh, no. We are talking about Beyond the Books.
I just remember when I first met you and you weren't in decline, but that was decades ago.
Son of a gun.
Look at you, non-sailor talking.
So hopefully this is kind of a demonstration of just some of the fun and frivolity that people can also hope to look forward to on Beyond the Books.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very much in this vein. And I mean, at least that's what Emily, I think you'd agree. That's what we're aiming for. It's just fun,
Oh, yeah.
informative conversations.
For sure.
Cool. Emily, Tim, this has been so much fun. What a great Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Coffee on the Coast. Any last words before we sign off?
Stay classy, Manitowoc.
Yes.
And don't forget to tune in March 1st, which is a Wednesday at 12:30, as you eat your sandwiches and Italian food. Tune in for the first episode of Beyond the Books, MPL Insider Beyond the Books.
Sounds like a perfect lunch break. All right, I'm Tina Prigge. I was joined today by Emily Brandt and Timothy Andrew Gabriel Gadzinski, both of Manitowoc Public Library, talking about Beyond the Books. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Coffee on the Coast.